Are you guys planning a cruise vacation adventure like we've been doing? Well, this is the video you're going to want to watch for all the pre-cruise tips and tricks, all before you step foot on that awesome cruise ship. Check it out! What's it all about? What's up, Gskis family? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you guys are back with us. It's been a while since we've made a video,
but I can't remember the last time.
Yeah, actually August when we were in Disney. It's been that long. We've just been so busy with so many things going on with our life. School
we didn't
starting.
even show them Halloween this year.
I know, it's been hectic for us, but as you guys know, we are planning a cruise vacation. Actually, we've been planning it for a year now.
Yeah.
Who's been with the channel long enough to know that? Remember when we surprised my parents, Grandma and Papa, with a cruise vacation going with us on none other than the most recent, newest Icon class ship.
I was about to say Icon, but...
Yeah, it's the new one. It's Star of the Seas.
Flashback.
Show it to Grandma and Papa, please.
Sure.
Upside down, Aria.
That must be mine.
Star of the Seas.
You guys are going with us on a cruise on Star of the Seas.
Yeah.
End of flashback.
We thought it would be great if we put together a little video. We're asked all the time, not only by you guys who are watching, but also some of our family and friends who are planning their own cruise vacation. So we thought, well, maybe we create a video where we can answer a lot of those questions, especially all the things that are required, are not just required, but we probably feel really strongly about you probably should think about doing before you even get on the ship. Things like what to pack.
Well, we've been cruising so long by now. I mean, what?
Yeah,
like,
we actually just upgraded.
When was our first cruise? Like 20 years ago? I mean, 15?
In
something.
2006 or somewhere around there, I think. Yeah, actually, hold that thought.
I don't know.
We've been cruising so long, we have this many cards. It's not focusing on it, but there's a lot. And actually, we have the very first one that we've ever went on, which was Monarch of the Seas. And that was in 2009.
Yeah, so however many years that's been.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Monarch of the Seas was a part of Royal Caribbean. There you go, it's right here. And we've been on a lot of Royal Caribbean cruises since then. We've even done a few Carnival and decided Carnival's not for us, and we're loyal to Royal. And so a lot of the tips and tricks we're gonna give you can apply to all cruise companies, but specifically Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
Just because that's who we are. We love Royal. So one thing we definitely wanted to talk about is before you even book a cruise, a lot of people ask us, you know, there's so many options out there, so many ships to choose from. What do you like to pick? And you know, based off our experience, we've been on, I think, 3 different class ships with Royal Caribbean. Those are the Freedom class, which was Liberty of the Seas. And then we've been on Oasis class, which is We've been on Harmony and Allure. There's other ships, by the way, a part of those classes. I'm just telling you the ones we've been on. And of course, we've been on Icon class ship, which is Icon of the Seas, and Star of the Seas just joined that fleet. And Legend of the Seas will be joining that fleet this time, November 2026, and we'll be on that one too. That's the big question, you know, a lot of people ask, well, which one do you like? What's your favorite ship? Why do you like it so much, etc. And you know, for us, now having been on Icon two times, this will be our 3rd time to be on an Icon class ship. We love Icon class ships.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt.
There's no competition. No other cruise line.
The other ships are still good.
Yeah.
But like I mean, it's like having everything. It's almost similar to like what we say about suites. Like once you go there, it's really hard to like downgrade and go back.
Which is a great point, which is what I was going to kind of say. If it's your first cruise, I actually probably wouldn't actually recommend going on an Icon class ship as your first cruise, only because I think you want to experience a smaller ship, or what I would call a normal ship, that is probably more equivalent to or equal to other companies as well. So to give you an example, I think the Oasis class ship is actually really similar to some of other cruise companies' best ships, meaning their biggest and best. And so that's actually second tier, second generation now to Royal Caribbean, of course, Icon being number 1. But the point being is, if you go on an Oasis class ship, I think you get a lot of the things that you're looking after For example, on Harmony of the Seas, on all Oasis class ships, they have rock climbing wall, water shows, ice skating shows, your typical Broadway type shows. I mean,
couple slides,
zip lines. They have putt golf, mini golf.
It's kind of like your standard ship.
It was the first class ship where they introduced Central Park through the middle of the ship. And so there's a lot of things there that are obviously on Icon of the Seas, but it's just a smaller ship. And
one thing I do like on those, do all of those have the bionic bar?
No, so Icon doesn't have bionic bar, but yes, I think
do all of
I don't know if they've all been upgraded to have one. I can't remember if Lure had it or not. But yeah, so on Oasis class ship, there, at least I know for a fact on Harmony, there is the bionic bar, which our kids love. They get a non-alcoholic drink, obviously, and it's just fun to watch that. I was kind of disappointed that it didn't appear on Icon, except they took the robot style thing there and used a robot differently, and that was for the water show. They have a robot that takes part of the water show. For us, if you're picking a cruise for the very first time, I would take that in consideration, just because you probably want to understand the base level of cruise ship, because once you go to Icon, and if you started with Icon and then went back to an Oasis type ship, I think you may be a little bit disappointed and never want to go back. So I think it's important to kind of test and feel it out before you go all the way big time with Icon of the Seas, unless you're from Miami, or lucky us, from the Galveston area, where Icon will be making its home port in 2027. That's a whole different news story there. But and the reason why I say that is if you're near a port that has these types of ships, obviously you'd be going on that all the time, I would think. And so just ignore what I said before about going on Oasis class ship. Just keep going on Icon class ship. The other thing that we like to look at before we even book a cruise is obviously price. Plays a big role in all that, and the price is actually different between those Oasis and Freedom and Icon class ships as well, and obviously other costs to consider. You know, when you are going to a port and that's not near you or drivable, you know, you probably want to arrive at least one day before you step foot onto the ship on your embarkation day.
Definitely.
We like to actually try to go 2 days early. This time around, going on Star, we're only going to go 1 day early, and we're going to explore Epic Universe, in case you guys don't know, but that's going to be really fun.
I recently just saw a post where someone was arriving the same day at like 1 o'clock.
No.
I was like,
do not do that.
Oh my God.
Especially in times like this where, you know, there's a government shutdown and there's a lot of
all the
flight changing
and stuff.
and you
not
know,
worth
weather delays, especially if you're flying into Florida. Obviously they get rain all the time. I remember when we went on our first Icon of the Seas, where of course we're on a Facebook group where a lot of people were going on that same cruise. People were leaving from Texas and could not get to Florida because their flight was delayed, because we here in Texas at that time were experiencing a lot of rain. So they couldn't even go and drive to Austin to fly out or Dallas to fly out. It was just all shut down. And they ended up driving like the whole 19-hour drive in 1 day. And you don't want to start your vacation off like that. So I know it's a little bit extra.
Well, at least if you leave early, if you had to do that, you have time to get there.
Yeah.
If you leave last minute and just are expecting to show up and get on the ship, if you have any delay, any flight issue, you're just not going to make it and waste your whole vacation.
You're completely cooked at that
They're not going to give you your money back.
Definitely consider staying 1 day early. So the other thing to consider is also room selection. So one big thing we like to do now is obviously stay in a lot of suites, just because, you know, like Jennifer said before, once you go up into that class, it's hard to go back down. Now, I will say, during the summertime when kids are off, or even Christmas or Thanksgiving cruise, obviously the prices are way high. And so one cruise that we're going to be going on next summer, or this coming summer in 2026, is out of Galveston on Symphony of the Seas, another Oasis class ship. When we were looking at that, you know, the suite prices were way, way high. I would never pay some of the prices that I was seeing. And so then when I looked at a room for 4, just a standard balcony room, it was also extremely high. I think it was like $6,000 just for the one room for a family of 4. You know, me being me, I tried to like do a little bit of playing the game, and so I broke our family into 2 rooms, where Jennifer and one of our kids has a room and I and our other kid have a room. And believe it or not, it actually came out cheaper than getting one room. So now we have we're connecting 2 rooms so we can have our balconies open up. You get 2 restrooms, you get 4 beds essentially.
Yeah.
And so it makes everything way, way, way better.
More space for basically the same price.
Try to think creatively when you're booking some of these things.
Obviously, it doesn't always work out that way.
No, of course not.
But it's just something you should check out. If you're looking it up and looking at prices, go ahead and just try it. You never know.
I will say we're going on 2 summer cruises next year, both on Symphony out of Galveston, and both times getting 2 rooms was better than just getting 1. So the last thing maybe to consider before booking any place is obviously what ship do you want. We've kind of covered that in terms of, is it Icon, which actually has way, way more. You just go watch some of our last videos and see what that looks like.
We didn't even do it all, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's got a water park, it's got surfing, it's got everything you can possibly imagine.
We're gonna try to for sure get all of it on video this time.
Well, they don't let you record the water slides, but maybe one just will appear in my pocket on a couple. So besides just the ship itself, which to me, when you go on an Icon class ship, that is the destination. We're actually not that curious about where is it actually going. We're more excited about being on the ship, which Icon is the only ship we've ever felt that way about. Yeah. I think when you're on Oasis, they're great ships, they are a destination, but not like they are with Icon. I mean, Icon even has a dog, Rover, and Star has Sailor. I mean, what kind of cruise ship has that? The other thing, obviously the big thing is which ports are they going to and where are you sailing out of? Again, you may just be selecting just based off proximity of where you're at and you're just kind of stuck with that. But obviously we like to fly and try out different locations. But yeah, the port of call is obviously a big one. Now, when you go out of Galveston right now, for at least the foreseeable future, all the way through 2027, all ships are basically going to Cozumel, which isn't a bad thing for us anymore because Royal Caribbean is building their own private island, which I happen to know who the architects are for that.
Be just like Coco Cay, but Mexico.
It's called Perfect Day Mexico, actually. So that's going to be coming real shortly. Not to get into too much detail about actually booking your own vacation, because that's going to be totally up to you and who you are and what you want to do. Is it more of the destination of the ship, or is it more of the destination of the island that you're going to? But now that you've booked one, and especially if it's with Royal Caribbean, I know other companies also have their own app, but you definitely want to download the app. Because you can find pretty much everything there. People always ask questions like, oh, well, what kind of theme night is on day 6? Well, it's all in the app. You can literally find everything in that thing. So definitely want to download that. There's also a lot of perks to that when you're on the ship. One thing to do when you have that app, or one of the most important things to do pre-cruise, pre-boarding, is 45 days out. And this is a big one to me. And a lot of people just don't seem to care, but I do. 45 days out is when you can select your boarding time for the day that you arrive. And so what that means is, for example, Galveston, and every port, by the way, has different boarding times. So let me give you an example. Galveston, right now, or at least in the most recent times, the earliest time you can get is 11 a.m. to board. Whereas when we go on Star, the earliest time that we could possibly get was at 10:30 a.m. Depending on your port that you're selling out of, it's going to change based off of that location. And just keep in mind, 45 days out at midnight, it will tell you even in the app when your online check-in is. For example, I'll put up on the screen here our most recent process that I went through. Mom never stays up long enough to do it. That's usually my job. So for this one, as you see here, it's for our Star of the Seas booking. And of course, we live in Texas, and Star of the Seas is going out of Port Canaveral, Florida. So it's not actually, you'll see it on my phone up there at the top, it's actually not midnight for us, it's 11 o'clock because it's based off of your ship's port. Ship time is what they call it. The other thing I will say is it's not going to be right at midnight. For the most part, every single time I've noticed it's really around like 12:05 or 12:06. So it's not right at midnight. So at least that's been my experience. If you've been able to do it earlier than midnight, awesome, but I'm usually swiping up and down, refreshing, and it just opens up for me right around 12:05, 12:06. The other thing I would like to mention is this is actually not where, for me anyways, I have an Android, by the way, just so you know. It may be different for iPhone users, but the app is awful for online check-in. And what I mean by that is, and I'll even show you up on the screen as well, that it opened up earlier for me if I went through Royal Caribbean's website instead of the app. And so the check-in opened right around 12:05, 12:06 on the website. And by the time I finished checking in our entire family, it still wasn't open on the app. It did open up like maybe around 12:30, 12:40. That's a long time between, and actually you'll see that all the early boarding times by that time, if you're going through the app, wasn't even available anymore. The next earliest time was around 11 or 11:30. So why is it important to get that earliest boarding time? Because you can get on the ship as soon as possible. Now I know a lot of people are gonna leave in the comments, well, it doesn't really matter, they don't check. It doesn't matter. Just do it anyways, get the early boarding time, because what happens if you show up and they do start checking? Don't leave that up to chance. Just go ahead and get the early boarding time. It's not that big a deal. Just check the app to see when your date is, put it in your phone as a reminder, and remember it's midnight of this ship time, not where you're located. When you are booking all that through the app, there's all that fun stuff. Obviously you can check in everyone within your party, and you can do that. Just one person needs to do that. You don't have to have everyone do it for themselves. So have your passport ready if that's what you're using, or birth certificate ready, because you're gonna need to put in all that information. But also, from my experience, just check in one person for your party. Meaning fill out all the stuff for just one person, because then you're basically holding that check-in time. It will be available and know that the rest of your family wants to check in at the same time as you. So you basically just do one and you can get through it really quickly and grab that coveted earliest time, and then just don't wait a day to do it, but then continue to do it for the rest of your family a little bit more relaxed. And you can always edit and modify it, by the way, after you complete it. So we have checked in, we've got our boarding time. Now the big question is what to pack. Well, this is actually a big one for us, especially since we're a family of 4. The rooms aren't that large, let's be honest. No. Actually, the largest room we've ever stayed in was the Crown Loft Suite, which
the girls still talk about that.
Was the most spacious room you would ever get, ever. And all the tips don't apply if you're getting that room. But since you are not getting that room, most likely some of the tips are going to help you save space and pack really efficiently.
I think after like however many years we've been cruising now, I'm finally like paring down everything, but I'm almost like, I like to have extra outfits, especially for the kids. Like, you never know. I'm like, but I feel like, especially if they're younger, you're gonna want more outfits because they're gonna get dirty. I think our kids are a bit older now where they're really not, like, Aria's not getting ice cream all over clothes. Well, we used to have to sit there with towels.
I remember the first time we went on Icon, which was over 2 years ago now. It feels like it was March of 2024. And we boarded, we had all of our cool gear on and swag on, and there were white shirts, and Aria decided to eat spaghetti in the Windjammer, and that shirt went from white to red really quickly, and it was ruined.
Trash.
Actually, was it Aria or Isla? It may have been Isla. We're gonna have to go watch our own video. But one of the biggest things you can possibly do for packing is there's a thing called a shoe hanging organizer.
Hanging shoe organizer.
I'm
going to show you because Michael said not to do this. I didn't feel like going and grabbing it.
I'm still going to give you guys a link down in the description.
But you all know what we're talking about, I'm sure. Let me see.
Yep, there it is. It's focused.
Yeah.
So it's essentially that, you guys. It's basically, you know, a shoe organizer that you hang from a wall. I'm not telling you to do that to pack your shoes, but if you have kids, this is amazing. We actually bring 2 of them. And what Mom does is on each row, we'll basically pack a day.
It's like outfits.
Yeah, so 2 for one kid and 2 for the other kid on that first row for the morning section and afternoon section if we go to dinner and things like that. Yeah. And you just do that all the way down, and it saves.
You probably don't even need a full one for a whole kid. I mean, maybe, depends how much you're packing.
Yeah. What she does is she will obviously roll the entire outfit into and put it into the organizer, and we'll roll up that whole thing and put it in the suitcase. And so when you get to your room, unpacking is like that. You just unfold it. And so you're probably wondering, okay, well, where the heck do you put that thing? Oh, that's a great question. And so what you need to buy as well are magnet hooks, because the stateroom is essentially all metal. You can buy magnet hooks, and basically you want to make sure they have a very, very strong magnet test. Like, don't buy a magnet that isn't going to hold heavy weight, because then none of what we're telling you is going to work. So what you'll see on some of our past videos, we have hung it either by the bathroom door. Sometimes we hang it from the ceiling. Whatever is the best location.
I'm gonna show them really quick. Let's see if we can get this to.
Yeah. So there you go. There's the hook in itself, and obviously those hang at walls, hang on
They are,
ceilings.
like Michael said, very powerful. So also be careful with kids, because they will pinch your skin.
So that is one of the biggest items you can possibly get that I cannot say enough. And even if you don't have kids, think about if you want to use it for yourself. Even mom sometimes just puts snacks in there. So the other important item that I would say you probably should look into buying is, and it's really simple, most people already have it, but luggage tag holder. So when you, about 20 or 30 days out before you get, before your boarding day, Royal Caribbean will send you an email or let you know that you can start printing out your luggage tag. There it is. There's the luggage tags with the metal little hook, if you will, or wrap that goes around them, and you put your luggage tag right in there, and these work out great, because if it's raining outside, it's not gonna get wet, and you don't have to worry about anything else. So if you've been following the channel long enough, you probably watched our last icon video, and probably around, I think it was day 5 or 6, no, it was probably 4 or 5, I can't remember now, but I got a massive headache, and I don't know where it came from, but it was extremely painful. And we did not pack any medicine, so I would highly recommend just bring some Tylenol, Advil, or something, you know, the basic.
In general, we normally do pack medicine, especially for the kids. This particular time, like, I guess we've just been lucky to not really have needed medicine, and 90% of our trips, I'd actually not really remember having.
I mean, they do have it on the ship. It's just you're paying a
Yeah.
premium to get it off the ship. But so just go ahead and.
Just general stuff like kids, something, fever reducer, headache medicine. If there's something that you know your kid gets a lot, like just take something for it.
But wait, there's one more medication. Do you remember what else you need to bring?
Yeah, we
Go ahead.
always
Say it.
regret it. Swimmer's ear.
Boom, good one. That's another problem I always get when we go on these things.
Always.
Yeah, it was so bad. Even again, also on this last trip, I had a clogged ear for hours,
like,
and I could not.
Almost a full day.
Yeah, I mean, I tried everything. Even at like midnight, I went up to the suite lounge where there's a hot tub available, and I was like trying to dunk my head to try to like get it all out. It was a nightmare.
It was miserable.
It was awful.
So if you know you can have an issue like that, just bring it. And we always like regret it. We're always there. If he has an issue, we're always like, we should have brought it, and then we have to deal with it. Yeah. That, and we really need to get you earplugs, honestly. Like swimming earplugs.
Those are some of the basic items that you definitely, I know they sound so simple, but even us expert cruisers forget to bring it a lot of the time. So create a little checklist of things you want to pack and make sure you have checked them all off as you're packing. So the last item that I think is one big important item, probably for everyone to be honest, but especially us, because we carry tons of equipment, camera equipment, drones, you name it, we got it.
Yeah,
and
no cute backpacks for me. You see me carrying around an army backpack?
Yeah.
It's Michael's stuff.
Well, that's just on boarding day. But yes, so we obviously need to charge all those things, and to be able to charge all those things, we need plugs. And believe it or not, on all of these ships, including Icon class ships, there's actually not that many chargers, especially with a 3-prong charger. Yeah. There's not many. There's a lot of USB.
USB?
Well,
no, it's actually USB.
Yeah, there's a lot of USB, a couple USB-Cs. And believe it or not, go watch our last video when we stayed in the Surfside Suite. There was only one, actually two 3-prong outlet. One was in the restroom. And this is where the item comes into play here, is a converter. And so what you'll notice in all these ships is there's a European outlet, and if you bring that converter like we have, it will plug right into there, and then all of a sudden now you have another 3-prong outlet location.
Don't you need that for like sometimes the hair dryers and stuff?
So that has been a conversation that's been happening online that I don't know if it's true or not because I don't have any hair.
Yeah, I mean, but I've never had issues, but am I using one? I don't know. But.
You know, it's
But there
just
have
another
been-
reason why I would totally recommend bringing it, because sometimes the outlets aren't strong enough to power up some hair curling irons and things like that. But I know for a fact the 3-prong adapter that goes into the European outlet will, and this is where I caution you. Don't plug in your drone controller or other items because they do, I think, output a higher voltage in some form or fashion, because it completely fried my drone controller on our very first Icon trip, and was not fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't fly the drone at all.
Michael was so mad.
I was depressed.
These are allowed?
So okay, so here's the rules, and this has recently changed within the last year. Those adapters are completely allowed, no problem. Where things become not allowed is if it has a cord, any kind
like
of
an
cord.
extension.
Well,
they consider it an
even
extension.
if it's a foot-long cord, they're gonna take
Yeah.
it from you. Now, I'm not telling you to do this but if you really have to bring one, which we have one that has a cord, and we're not using it because we need the cord, we're just using it because we want more plugs.
Outlet.
Which the one we have has like tons of USBs around it, has a couple 3-prongs on top of it. But the way that you get it on is basically you go and carry it on with you.
Lock it on.
When you go through security, they seem to not care, but if you check your bag, they will find it.
They're going to find it, and they're going to hold your bag in baggage jail and make you come claim it.
And then they're going to ask you, why'd you bring it? So other than those main items, I mean, there's obviously other things. For example, you want to bring some form of tennis shoes. If you're interested in doing like the zip line on an Oasis class ship, you have to have a completely enclosed shoe to do that is tieable and has to be completely tied. Obviously with rock climbing, they'll give you shoes with that. But think about where you're going. Is it going to be long walking distances to certain beaches? What kind of shoes are you going to wear to the beach? For example, when we go to St. Martin, we usually walk quite a distance to get to Kalatua Resort, which is where we'll be going on this upcoming cruise. So stay tuned for that. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's quite a long distance walk, so I usually wear tennis shoes and not any kind of sandals.
It's in the sand, but still.
Yeah, but the sand is really thick. It's hot and thick, and it's tough to walk through. Maybe I'm just thinking that way because I always carry Aria, so it's like carrying all my camera equipment, carrying Aria, and
I feel like it was worse
our
first trip. We were hot, didn't know where we were going, was walking through.
That's true.
Kids were dying.
Anyway, so that's just the other kind of item. And then think about if you're going snorkeling, make sure you pack your snorkeling gear. Obviously, most of the excursions will give you some, but I find my equipment is just slightly better than everyone else's, so I usually bring that as well. So yeah, and then as Mom mentioned, bring a travel bag with you as well, because that's going to lead into our next topic of conversation where Mom wanted to go earlier, but this topic of conversation is, what do you wear when you board the ship? And that's a big item. We like to basically just wear casual stuff, but if it was just Jennifer and I going without kids, I would probably be wearing a bathing suit onto the ship. And the reason why I say that is because our kids just aren't tall enough to do any of the major water slides yet. But if they were, we would probably all be wearing bathing suits, because day number 1 on any cruise ship is the time to beat all lines to do all the awesome water slides, especially like on an Icon class ship, because no one thinks about it. So when you're boarding the ship, you don't have your suitcase, so you can't get to it until at least 1 o'clock when the room opens, and that doesn't even mean your luggage will be there. Sometimes your luggage doesn't even get there until like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And so what to pack, what to wear? Well, if you bring that secondary bag that Jennifer was mentioning, sometimes I have a camera bag and then an additional bag to carry additional things like change of clothes, is a great idea for day 1. So if you do wear a bathing suit, bring a secondary bag.
Or just bring a bag with your bathing suits in it. You can always put your other clothes back on.
And be ready. Just wear the bathing suit right on and go
I'm
straight to the water
gonna be
slide.
showing up in my bikini.
Oh, I'm talking about for me, but yeah, I mean, obviously girls are different. But which, by the way, those bathrooms on Icon, the public bathrooms.
Oh Lord, I don't like using those.
It's like a wave wand to get into the door, and then it opens up, and you can see
In the
right
middle
into
of
the
public.
restroom and see everyone using the restroom. It's
Use with
not
caution.
Planned very well.
And hopefully they lock and no one is on the main floor unlocking your door on the outside and walking in on you, because those doors don't shut fast. They go.
So just wear your bathing suit, like I said, onto the ship and go right to the water slides. I guarantee you there's not going to be anyone in line. And bam, you can do it. Same thing with the kids though, by the way, you know, a lot of like the carousel and things like that all require like you to have shoes on. So don't think you're just going to get away with just wearing some Crocs and sandals this whole trip, especially for your kids. You're going to want to have those types of things so they can do certain things at the play areas and water parks.
And you should always have some pair of shoes on you on the ship, because, you know, like on Surfside, when the kids are doing the water park area, they always want to go to the carousel, and you're really not supposed to be wet, but you definitely can't be barefoot. So it's just good to have like their shoes.
So that's what you want to wear, in my opinion, when you board the ship. Outside of that, you just wear whatever you want if you don't care about getting in and doing any kind of activities immediately. Just be aware that your room won't be ready until at least 1, and you probably won't get your bag until maybe around, I mean, I think the earliest we
got it early the last time.
Yeah, we did get it pretty early, but we've been on cruises many times that we didn't even have our
it till after dinner right
which
before.
Is right around 5:30 for us, and
yeah,
it kind of sucks, but no big deal. So one last item about what to pack. Obviously, there are different theme nights. They have like a whiteout night. They have formal nights where people get really dressed up. We really don't participate in any of that anymore, just because we've done it so many times. It's kind of boring to us now.
We just don't enjoy, like, we don't want to have to go and have to dress up. Like, if we do like nice casual sometimes, you'll see me in like summer sundress type stuff, but like that's as formal as we like to go anymore.
Well, it's just so much more to pack, especially if you like bring a suit. You don't want it to get wrinkled, so then you have a suit bag, and then there goes one of your know, luggages.
That's not
that
something
you
we
can pack.
want to deal with. Like with the kids,
especially
like
when you're
just
flying,
casual on the go.
It's just not worth it, in my opinion. And then you got to pack another pair of shoes, just nice shoes, just for that. But so, anyways, totally up to you. But again, it's all in the app to find out what days they are and what themes they are. They have different ones like Caribbean night, all white night, or something like that. Yeah, tons of
like
things to
Western.
participate in. Yeah, it changes. It just depends on what ship you go on. But yeah, don't forget about formal night if you're into that. I mean, probably most of the ship is.
Lots of people do it. So
we look like weirdos without it, to be honest, but it's just not our thing anymore. So yeah, that concludes the what to pack section of this video, and we'll move on to now that you are on the ship itself. And this is the last little section. We'll give you way more tips and tricks when we board the ship, but I just want to let you know some of the first things you want to do when you board the ship. And of course, the very first thing, which is so nice about Royal Caribbean, is you want to go on the app, and you'll see that there's a little mustard drill station. There's a video that you need to watch, okay? Watch that video as you're driving to the port. Like Jennifer can watch it for everyone if I'm driving, or if we have a driver driving us, I usually sit there and watch it and check the list. That's not the only thing you need to do. There is a mustard station that you need to check into, but they will check and see if they watch that video, and then you're good to go. And
it's so nice because all you have to do is go check in at the mustard station, where
and they'll
if you
see
know
if you've
there's
watched the
other
video.
ships, and I mean maybe even the Royal Jet.
So
back in the day.
Disney, I know for sure is still doing it the old way, where you all get crammed into like a theater or a deck, and they do the whole checklist. Oh gosh, it was awful. But of course, after COVID, Royal went completely virtual with the app. And all you got to do is go to your mustard station, which also shows you in the app where you need to go. There's a little map that will show you where you need to go.
And the ship will not take off unless everyone checks in. They'll be calling names on the intercom, so don't think you can skip it.
That's what we do first thing. Like we will, especially on an Icon type ship, we will see the amazing pearl right when you walk in, but then we're going straight to do our mustard station. It literally takes less than 2 minutes. Seriously, less than 2 minutes. And we check in for that, and you're free to go from there. But then what we like to do next is, you know, sometimes we'll buy the classic soda package, just because especially Aria loves to drink her little soda every now and then. So we'll go get that, and you can get those cups pretty much at any bar. And I'll tell you, the best place to get it, especially on an Oasis class ship, is at the back of the ship near the Surfside flow, or it's not Surfside, near the flow rider at the top, like deck 16 I think is where it's at. There's a little bar back there no one even knows about. And you can get your cup without any crowd or any people, and boom, you can get it really quick. Now, Icon class ship, we got it at the piano bar, which brings me to the next point. It's right next to where you can get a WOW band. If you don't know what a WOW band is, it's essentially just a little band that has a card reader in it.
Almost like a magic band.
Yeah, it allows you to pay for things on the ship. It allows you to open your door and things like that. You still need your physical card to get on and off the ship and to check in your kids to Adventure Ocean. But the WOW band comes in great, things where I don't have to wear a lanyard.
Yeah, you don't have to pull out your card or leave it.
And if we're in the arcade, it's just bam, swipe, and it just makes things a lot easier. And I think they're only $9 each. We have 3 WOW bands now. I think we have all the colors except maybe one.
Blue, yellow.
Yeah, blue, yellow, white. Is there black? I think there's a black. So maybe we'll get the last one on this cruise. But WOW bands are the way to go in my opinion. And a last little item similar to a WOW band, and I don't know if we're gonna do this, and Mom has no idea what I'm about to say, is now on Icon class ships, at least Star of the Seas, I know for a fact.
The kid thing.
That's right. There is now a kid tracker, and from my understanding, it's probably like a WOW band, and the kids can wear it, and it basically allows you to see where your kids...
Kind of like having an air tag on them.
Yeah, where they're at on the ship. I don't know if we'll really get it just because our kids are literally always with us, and if they're not,
with your
they're
parents.
in Adventure Ocean or with my parents. So
our kids are too young to like free roam the ship, but
I mean,
we might have other kids.
I guess we could give it to like my parents just to know where they're at.
They are,
but it will not track adults. But so it'd be like it's for one of our kids, and you're just holding on to it. But anyways, this is only for kids. It's not for adults, so you can't go track your significant other. But if you have kids, you can get one and then give it to your significant other and track them if it's required. But I think that's kind of interesting, especially for those teenagers that like to now probably kind of go and adventure out and do their own thing, which there's a lot of that on Icon class ships because there's a lot to do for teenagers, which is pretty cool. So those are the main things there on what you should probably be doing.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna get one just to test it, like just to see, like.
We'll see if what I just said is true.
How well, I'm curious how well it tracks them on the ship. Like, what does it show you? Like, what floor they're on?
Yeah.
Like, or
That's
just,
true.
because there's so many floors, I'm just curious how it would work. So, get one and try it out.
So, with all those tips and tricks, you guys, I hope that really helps you understand some of the complexities and things you probably should be thinking about before you even get on the ship. Sounds like a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun, I'll tell you that. We cannot wait for our cruise that is coming up in like 21 days. We'll be on Star of the Seas, as we've mentioned many times in this video. Cannot wait. Hope you guys stick around and to see that. There's going to be tons of little tips and tricks that we will put inside those videos as well. That's going to bring us to the end of this video, you guys. So we really appreciate everyone who's been liking, subscribing, leaving comments, and we hope you got something beneficial out of it. We'll see you guys when we board Star of the Seas. I want to sit up, but this is what happens when I sit up. You can't see her and me at the same time, so I have to slouch.
Blame it on me?
Check in, it's the Gskis vibe. We're the ones on your screen, keeping dreams alive. From the highs to the lows, yeah, we're telling it all. This is your front row seat, so just answer the call.